Welcome to Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Tremendous atmosphere, as usual, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, as we get set for Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Puck went from McDavid to Ekholm into the back of the net.
A tweak by head coach Paul Maurice, flip-flopping corner Verhaeghe and Evan Rodriguez. So Verhaeghe on the line here with Reinhart and Barkov, an early chance for Sam Reinhart, and Kane clears the puck ahead.
Great pass there by Verhaeghe to set up Reinhart.
Hit by Forsling on Draisaitl behind the net. Kapanen with the puck. Out to the point for Darnell Nurse. Shot misses the net. Verhaeghe over to pick it up for Florida. Pressured, knocked off the puck. Looks like it's going to be a high stick on Kane. Kane to the box. High sticking. 37 seconds in. A look at the Geico players on the ice for the Panthers on this power play. 1 for 2 in the opener. Brad Marchand with a power play goal in the first period. Chuck with Markov and Reinhart. Reinhart, more power play goals than anyone in the league over the last 2 seasons. Ekblad across, shot by Kachuk, blocked by Ekholm. Ekblad and Seth Jones out at the points. Here's Ekblad with room, stopped by Skinner. Kachuk looking for Barkov. Bouchard with it for Edmonton. Deflects up into the Oilers bench, off to Seth.
Skinner shut the door at a most crucial time in the game, gave his team a chance. He didn't have the same workload as Sergei Bobrovsky, but he was very good after giving up that third goal in Game 1.
Puck sent in deep by Seth Jones. Reinhart kept it away from Nurse. Now Kachuk has it stripped by Kulak, and he lifts it out of his own. Kapanen in pursuit, along with Ekblad. Kasperi Kapanen outstanding in Game 1 for the Oilers, killing off some time here on the penalty kill.
As coach said this morning, in the playoffs, he's been an A-plus player.
Now it's Kachuk into the Oilers zone for Bennett. Sending it back out. Shot blocked in front by Jake Walman. Here's Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe's shot did not get through. Nate Smith. Score! Sam Bennett with 2 goals in Game 1 opens the score for Florida on the power play in Game 2.
Guys, the Edmonton bench is incensed to the right of me. They felt that Bennett knocked the stick away from Mattias Ekholm. There's the stick right there. Bennett kicks the stick away from Ekholm, and to the right of me, the whole bench, I mean, they were absolutely wild. And then once you know it, the puck ends up right back on the stick of Sam Bennett, public enemy number 1 here in Edmonton, and he puts it home for the game's first goal.
He sets a new NHL record, his 12th goal on the road during this postseason. Breaking the tie with Mark Scheifele. He did it with the 2018 Winnipeg Jets. Nicola, puck deflected in by Lostarinen. So the Oilers struck first in Game 1. And now the same from the Florida Panthers in Game 2. 2 minutes, 7 seconds in. Bouchard from in close. Puck sent back out for Walman. Onto the stick of Draisaitl. Here's Bouchard with a shot. Puck deflects out of play.
What he was doing, it's just human nature there. You want to make sure that the official knows, what took place. But the penalty coming up here
Against Florida.
They're holding a stick call. Instead of getting caught up in what happened, didn't get right back to the middle of the ice, and then Nate Schmidt made a great.
Hold the stick.
Thank you, referee.
Oilers with an opportunity on the power play from in close, Corey Perry. Edmonton in Game 1. 1 goal in 4 chances. It was the overtime winner off the stick of Draisaitl. Here comes McDavid into the Florida zone. Oilers set things up with the extra attacker, Evan Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins with a shot, turned aside by Bobrovsky. McDavid tried to get it out in front for Perry, and now another Draisaitl and Bennett. Panthers control. Smith sends the puck around. Marchand.
A little bit of holding there by Skinner on Bennett. He was trying to get to that puck below the goal line.
Draisaitl and McDavid, the Edmonton forwards. 4 skaters aside. Bennett already 3 goals in the series. Now Mikula tees one up, misses the net. Picked up by Schmidt. And now Marchand. McDavid heads to the bench. Marchand stopped by Skinner. Early power play goal. Sam Bennett has given the Panthers the lead in game 2. Ekholm flips the puck into the corner. Kulikov hit hard by Henrique. Now Arvidsson and Forsling come in. Out of Henrique. Kulikov stays with him. Henrique tried to center. It deflects out of play with
one of Boston's finest.
Bernie along with John Hebert. Referees tonight, Ryan Gibbons, Devin Berg, the linesman. Here's Reinhart. Reinhart shoots. Missed the net. Bouchard over for the Oilers.
Another high shot there by Reinhart. He's had 2 and both have missed the net.
Puck kept in by Mikula. Ekblad out of the box. Power play for the Panthers. Mikula off the mark. Reinhart keeps it alive in the Edmonton zone. Too far for Barkov. Bouchard fires it down ice.
What a great play by Reinhart. I know nothing came of it, but just saw the patience with the puck along the wall to try to keep that play alive.
Wallman poking at the puck. Now Bennett. Bennett getting it back out. Jones couldn't tee it up. Penalty time winding down. Kachuk behind the Edmonton goal. Now it's Bennett. In with a shot. Saved by Skinner. Ekblad from a tough angle. Penalty expires. Nugent Hopkins returns. Always back to full strength.
Jones had to leave the zone there because Nugent Hopkins was coming out of the penalty box there and had to play it safe.
Puck sent in deep by Janmark. Chasing with Ekblad. Knocks Ekblad to the boards and ice. Ekblad back on his skates. Here's Bennett. Now Kachuk for Florida. Stepping up is Klingberg. Here is Janmark dropping it off and a save by Bobrovsky. Beautiful setup for Trent Frederick.
And what a play by Klingberg there in the neutral zone to make that play.
Lundell kept the puck away from Frederick. Podkolzin kept alive by Lostarinen. Shouldered by Podkolzin. Past the stick of Schmidt. Forsling was calling for the puck. He fires down. 6.5 in. Opening period at Edmonton. Nugent Hopkins had it stripped by Marchand. Marchand loves Karinen. Great attempt. Backhand shot. Now Kulikov. Lostarinen with it. Kulikov kept it in at the line. Now across for Lostarinen. Schmidt steps up. Schmidt back out. Reinhart covering. Onto the stick of Schmidt. Schmidt towards the net. Deflects to the far boards. Kulikov out of there.
That almost bounced in off a nurse and right in front of the net.
Outlet pass for Kapanen. Sends to the far side. Vander Kane knocked off the puck. Kulikov settles things down for Florida. Now Schmidt off the stick of Verhaeghe. Bouchard quickly ahead. McDavid had it blocked away.
Great play by Schmidt there.
Good hit by Arvidsson on Schmidt.
Here comes Kane. Vander Kane with a shot. Score!
I think that little mishandle just slightly may have messed up Bobrovsky just slightly, and then Kane with a perfect shot off the post.
6th of the postseason for Evander Kane, who only played in 2 of the games in last year's Cup final against Florida due to injury. Kane has tied the game at 1 for the Oilers. There's Boquist. Back out for Gadjevich. Shot was blocked. Kane with the puck for Edmonton. Knocked down in the neutral zone by Seth Jones. Here's Forsling. Forsling wraps the puck around. Verhaeghe with it. Now Reinhart into the crease. Marchand with a chance. Covered up by Stuart Skinner.
You came from, and if you put it off the post, it could be awfully difficult to catch up to.
Arvidsson and Bouchard with the assists. Now Mikula looking for the setup in front for Rodriguez. And then Rodriguez with the puck for Florida. Back to the ice. Kulak to the far side. Kachuk over to pick it up. Push towards the net. Skinner looking for it. So is Bennett. David and Draisaitl on the ice for Edmonton. Up against Markov and Reinhart in a 1-1 game. 9 minutes in. Here's Reinhart. Gustav Forsling with a shot. That's blocked by Bouchard. How important is this game? Well, the team's taking a 2-0 lead in the Cup final. Have won 50 of the 55 previous series. McDavid back out Bouchard. Bouchard shot blocked by Markov, and he scores! Evan Bouchard! 2-1 Oilers!
He was dealing with the backside of Reinhart, and then Evan Bouchard just lets a outstanding wrist shot, pulled the puck into his body, changed the angle a bit, and went far side, stick side on Bobrovsky.
Well, Walden with a drive. Bobrovsky got a piece of it.
Seemed to go through his arm and his hip.
Now Lundell. Verhaeghe walks it across. Back out for Jones. Seth Jones in front looking for the stick of Lundell. Mikula keeps it alive. Jones back around to the near side for Mikula. Mikula fires wide from a tough angle. Held in by Verhaeghe. And now the Panthers go for a change. Goals a minute 40 seconds apart on consecutive shots for the Edmonton Oilers. First Kane, and then Bouchard. McDavid and Draisaitl the assists. Puck sent in by Arvidsson. Ekblad back to pick it up. Now it's Sam Bennett who has the Florida goal. Bennett around Arvidsson. Ekblad waits for the puck to come down, met by Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins works it ahead. 3-on-2 for the Oilers. Echo across and a save by Bobrovsky. Puck sent towards the net, knocked out by the glove of Bobrovsky.
That great access that Bush has to be able to hear and see and observe. Bring that to our great fans and audience here tonight.
Bush with the best seat in the house.
Absolutely.
I like mine too. I like his, but I like mine a little better.
All right, one of the top two seats. With the Oilers leading 2-1. Schmidt for Losterinen. Plus ice Jones. Score! Seth Jones ties game 2 at 2.
Well, Paul Maurice told Jackie in that terrific interview, they've had some guys open in the offensive zone, but the battle in front of the net, Lundell was there, Marchand is there. Turnover, great pressure there by Schmidt, and then the Florida Panthers go to, watch this pass right there. That opens up everything. And when you have net front presence, everybody gets mesmerized by the guys in front. There are more legs, more bodies, and then what a pass over to Jones, and he's got a wide open net.
Kapanen, who had a terrific game 1 and was an impact player, I think would love to have that play back up by the blue line. I thought he made a soft play, turned it over, and from there the Panthers made him pay. Certainly one that he would love to have back.
That's Florida's defense. They will run down there regardless of this, regardless of the situation, but they certainly love to press up, and that is a part of their DNA. So as a winger, to Bush's point, You got to have your head up, and that puck's got to get out of the zone when the opportunity presents itself.
Here comes Markov with Verhaeghe, 2-on-2. Markov to Verhaeghe, stopped by Skinner. Panthers control the draw. Rodriguez with a drive, contact with Skinner.
Was that Coleman? Bennett. Bennett again, and Skinner's hurt. Skinner is hurt. I did not see a penalty on the play. I think he did. I think he grazed it, Bosch.
Yeah. Power play for the Oilers. Frederick and Tkachuk roughing penalties as well. Goaltender interference, Bennett.
That penalty was called way after the interference by Bennett.
Right. There's McDavid. Puck knocked off his stick, kept alive by Draisaitl. And then across to McDavid. McDavid! Draisaitl scores! What a spectacular move! And set up by Connor McDavid!
Little effort by McDavid. Unbelievable play, and the Oilers have the lead once again.
Just 1 minute after Jones tied it for the Panthers. Not yet 13 minutes in. We have seen 5 goals. There's Nosek out for Kulikov. Nosek held up by Klingberg. Henry moves the puck out of the zone.
Penny, 5 goals in 12 and a half plus minutes. Period 1.
5 goals on 17 shots. Puck sent out of the zone by Joe. Knocked out of the air by Kulak. Bouchard, the second assist. Along with McDavid on Draisaitl's 3rd of the series.
The original ace. 66, Mario Lemieux. And of course, McDavid and Draisaitl. What a play.
Penalty coming on Mikkola. Hands up high on Kapanen. Mikkola's going to get the gate.
Here's Bouchard, already has 3 points in the period. Nugent Hopkins down low. And it's covered by Bobrovsky. Fans continue to chant Sergei, looking to get under Bobrovsky's skin. Here's McDavid, comes behind the net. Back out to Bouchard. Nugent Hopkins. Bouchard to McDavid. Now Draisaitl. With 3 goals in the series, puck comes out of the zone.
Good pressure there by Forsling.
Reinhart killing some time. Back to Forsling. Minute 25 remaining on the power play for the Oilers, who lead the Panthers 3-2. 5.5 remaining in period 1 in Edmonton. Here comes Bouchard, who has a goal and 2 assists. Now McDavid with speed, knocked down by Nosek. Jones couldn't clear, kept in the zone by Draisaitl.
Puck's got to get out if you're Florida.
Now McDavid. Bouchard with it, watched by Nosek. Here's McDavid for Bouchard. Leon Draisaitl, under a minute to go on the man advantage. McDavid, now Draisaitl. Here is Bouchard with a drop, that's blocked. Nugent Hopkins missed the net. Nugent Hopkins with it again, looking for Perry in front. And now another penalty will be assessed.
They wait. That was a minute and 16 seconds in between the call and the drop of the puck. That's more than enough time for these elite athletes to get a quick blow.
5-on-3 for 20 more seconds. Draisaitl. Now Bouchard. Here's McDavid. Nugent Hopkins. Back to Connor McDavid. Penalty time winding down. Mikkola will return in 5 seconds. There's McDavid for Draisaitl, blocked by Forsling. Draisaitl swings it back out. Puck comes out of the zone. Mikkola makes his return. It's now a 5-on-4 for another minute 20.
It's a huge part of that kill there for the Florida Panthers. 3 against 5.
Here comes Bouchard. Under 4 to play in the period. 3-2 Oilers. Now Arvidsson. Big hit by Kulikov on Henrique. Marchand and Kane come together. Lundell tried to clear the puck out, could not. Schmidt will. And now it's settled down by Wallman. Up the middle. Henrique blocked off by Mikkola. Chased down by Arvidsson. Wrists the puck around. Klingberg steps up. Back out to Henrique. 40 seconds remaining on the power play for the Oilers. Here's Klingberg. For Wallman, got the puck wide. Kane unable to get the shot away. Here is Wallman with a drive, saved by Bobrovsky. Nosek to the loose puck, and he will clear it to center. Knocked down by Wallman. Panthers changing. Here's Klingberg. Back for Wallman. Has room. Puck knocked away. Klingberg with it once again for Edmonton. And now Lostarinen jumps on it. McDavid back. Lostarinen. Now Lundell tried to put a move on. McDavid took it away. Outward pass. Draisaitl and Ekblad as the penalty expires, and Florida back to full strength. As Nurse moves in with a shot, stopped by Bobrovsky. Forsling for Jones just out of the box. So the Panthers with a couple of huge kills on the 5-on-3 and the 5-on-4. It remains a 1-goal game.
And it is huge, Kenny. A missed opportunity there for the Edmonton Oilers. 5-on-3, 5-on-4. Get some separation in a game where, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, last shot tonight might just do it.
Down to 2:15 on the clock, opening period. Oilers with a 3-2 advantage. Here's Kulak, moves it across. Puck comes out of the zone. Frederick with it for Edmonton, and now Kulak.
Yeah, Mark was open there. He just missed it.
Connor Brown around Boquist, takes the return from Frederick. Schmidt intercepts. How about Nate Schmidt? 2 assists in game 1. Already has 2 assists here tonight in game 2. He's been involved in 4 of the 5 Panthers goals. Here's Arvidsson up the boards and down. Kulikov for Florida.
Dajovic went to make a big hit, and somebody grabbed his stick there off the Edmonton bench.
Vickard, the backup goaltender. Right to the right of me.
Somebody sees it, that's a penalty.
Shot by Dajovic, turned aside by Skinner, and now a penalty coming up against Edmonton.
And there was not an arm up by either official, but they ended up making a call a little bit later.
Now the Panthers on the power play. Bouchard in the box. Just over a minute to go in the period. Tkachuk for Ekblad. Touch away from Nugent Hopkins.
No stick Wallman.
Here's Markov.
And now he's got Henriques.
Seth Jones. Henrique without a stick, as Eddie mentioned. Jones to the far side. Tkachuk bends it down low. Now back out Markov. Markov for Jones. Jones with a shot, turned aside by Skinner. Played by Ekblad. Ekblad across. Now Jones tees one out. Can't save Skinner.
Oh, yeah, Tkachuk right in his face there. That's an awesome stop there by Skinner.
25 seconds to go in the period. Oilers make changes. Here comes Tkachuk for Barkov. Barkov back to Matthew Tkachuk. Now to Aaron Ekblad. Now Barkov with a shot. Saved by Skinner. Down to 10 seconds. Barkov with it. Ekblad moves it in deep for Tkachuk. Off the side of the cage as time winds down, and the first period comes to an end. As Tkachuk is in Skinner's crease. An action-packed, wild first 20 minutes here in Edmonton.
They actually had some good things and did some good things in that first period. They start the second on the power play.
Yeah, they gotta find a way to slow it down as well. And if you're Sergei Bobrovsky and you can eat any puck, slow the game down, I think he's got to do it, particularly in the second period with the long change. You can't allow McDavid to be running around the way he did in the opening 20.
20 seconds remaining on the penalty to Bouchard. Connor Brown unable to clear the puck out. Seth Jones now for Barkov. Barkov back up the boards. Now 5 seconds remaining on the power play for Florida. Here's Jones. Now Barkov. Puck comes across. Ekblad works it back out. Bouchard out of the box. Edmonton with numbers. Bouchard in. Stopped by Bobrovsky. Whistle blew. Puck came loose, and Ekblad not happy with Connor Brown. Defenseman in NHL history to have more than one three-point period in the Stanley Cup Final. It has never been done before more than once by a defenseman. Don't draw. Paul Coffey is one of the other 7 defensemen who has had a three-point period in a Stanley Cup Final. Did it back in '85.
Just hopefully it wasn't in round 3 of the playoffs that year, Kenny, because I might have been -3 in that game.
Nope, Stanley Cup Final against Philly. Paul Coffey, one of the great people in the sport of hockey.
He's done an amazing job here. Just an amazing job with his defense and with the Oilers organization.
Here's Corey Perry. Tried to get it through to McDavid. Knocked down by Bouchard. McDavid in behind the net for Perry. Puck taken away. And skated out of the zone by Sam Bennett. Bennett with speed. And then Verhaeghe with a shot. Turned aside by Skinner. Puck knocked ahead by McDavid for Kane. Here's McDavid. Across and a big stop on Bouchard by Bobrovsky. So Bouchard with a couple of chances early in this second period. Another spectacular setup by McDavid.
How about the chances there for Edmonton not able to cash in?
Bouchard berating himself as he comes off the ice.
Forward, and Bouchard just holds on to that puck a second longer. He's going to have more room up top.
Third shot deflected by Brown. Turned aside by Bobrovsky. Lundell over for Florida. Looking to get it through to Marchand. Kept alive by Nurse for Trent Frederick. Now Henrique. Cut off by Nate Schmidt. Henrique for Kulak. Back around. Henrique steps up. Lundell with the puck for Florida. Seth Jones. Marchand for Ekblad. Lundell shoots in. Skinner winds it around. Close to Arena, next man on it. Across it comes for Kulikov. Kulikov with a shot. It was heading wide. It's gloved by Skinner.
He loves that stuff, doesn't he?
Different kind of bingo card.
Puck picked up by Kapanen. Kapanen out for Draisaitl. Draisaitl back out in front. Shot blocked by Mikkola. Kept alive by Kane. Missed the net with that attempt.
Kulikov with the block there, and then a big hit by Evander Kane on Kulikov.
Here comes Nosek for the Panthers. Nosek off the side of the cage. Kapanen over for Edmonton. Met by Forsling. Wins the puck out.
Nosek with a big hit on Klingberg.
5 goals in the first period. Oilers lead 3-2. Here's Barkov, caught from behind by Arvidsson. Battle for the puck behind the Edmonton goal. Puck comes back out to Aaron Ekblad. Carter Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe, the return for Ekblad. Off the glass. Puck in behind the net.
Let it go! Let it go!
Here's Forsling with a shot. That misses the net.
Skinner never saw it with the screen by Barkov in front.
Puck knocked down by Reinhart. Reinhart towards the net, blocked in front. Verhaeghe keeps it alive. Here's Reinhart with a shot. Puck loose off the left pad of Skinner. And now it's skated out of trouble by Janmark.
Turnover by Klingberg forces whole opportunity here for Florida.
Back out for Ekblad. Verhaeghe. Now Tkachuk.
Tired guys out there for Edmonton right now.
Long change in the second period. Forsling stopped by Skinner.
Barkov might have got a piece of that.
Now Verhaeghe sends it back out. Puck comes out of the zone, and then Forsling hits his own man, Verhaeghe, so that's a Florida offside. What's going on to the right of you, Booth?
Florida was able to get some fresh bodies out there.
Panthers control the face-off. Jones shoots in. It broke the stick of Ekholm. Skinner moves it up the glass. Comes to Seth Jones. Ekholm no stick. Battling with Rodriguez. Puck worked around to Bouchard. And he flips it high in the air. Nugent Hopkins had it taken away by Jones. Here's Sam Bennett. Bennett's pass blocked off by Bouchard. And now Corey Perry playing in his 6th Stanley Cup final. Ekholm with a new stick. Blocked by Mikkola. Rodriguez out with pass off the boards to Bennett.
What a pickup by Bennett.
And then he's knocked to the ice by Bouchard. Stepping up is Kulikov. Kulikov with a shot, and that's gloved by Skinner. And then Kachuk took a shot. He's now held away by Bouchard as sticks and gloves come up once again. 5.5 in, second period. Edmonton Oilers with a 3-2 lead in game 2. Shot by Lundell, sticked aside by Skinner. Schmidt and Brown. And Brown comes away with the puck. Nurse.
Good play, Schmidt there.
Schmidt in front, Lundell. The save by Skinner.
Schmidt knocked that puck out of midair and settled it down and made the play to the front of the net.
Now Kulikov moves it back in. Puck kept in at the line by Nate Schmidt. Marchand. Got it with Kulak. Look at the odds from DraftKings Sportsbook.
Excellent shift here for the third line of the Panthers.
Lundell, Marchand, and Marchand. So effective throughout these Stanley Cup playoffs. Marchand finds Lundell. Across it comes to Schmidt. Schmidt. Back out. Marchand with it. Now Darnell Nurse for Edmonton.
Boy, back-to-back long shifts for the Oilers at 5-on-5 here. It's over a minute.
Puck sent in by Brown. Gadjevich back on it for Florida. Help from Ekblad. All the goals in the first period. Edmonton leading. Florida 3-2. Oilers won the series opener 4-3 in overtime. Now Wallman, far corner, Draisaitl. Draisaitl held up by Forsling. Nosek. He takes a hard hit from Kapanen.
Kapanen with a good finish. Forsling played that nice on Draisaitl.
Alexander Kane, who has a goal tonight. Ekblad and Draisaitl. Ekblad comes out from behind his goal. Forsling. Now Bouchard with it for the Oilers. Here's Ekholm. Moves the puck along. Chased by Kane and Forsling.
Boy, Ekblad with interference there. He stuck the stick right in his waist.
No doubt.
I mean, he's lucky that he didn't get a penalty there.
Shot just missed.
Corey Perry with the chance.
Ekholm unable to get it through. Here comes Verhaeghe with Barkov. Carter Verhaeghe looking for Barkov. Bouchard got a stick on it. Now it's Verhaeghe out in front for Reinhart. Reinhart flips it wide. Mikkola steps up to play the puck.
Reinhart hits the net. He's got a goal there. There was some room up top with the screen in front of Skinner.
Here's Seth Jones down low. Away from McDavid. Jones with a goal for the Panthers tonight. Forced out of the zone by Nugent Hopkins. Mikkola fires back in. Under 12 to play, second period. Here's Verhaeghe. Dropping it back off and a save by Skinner.
I think it might have hit Barkov in front.
The truck with the shot. Now Jones for Verhaeghe. Here's Kulikov with a shot. Score! The Florida Panthers tie the game at 3.
Just a matter of time for the Florida Panthers. These last 3, 4 shifts, 5 shifts in the second period has been all Florida. We talked about it in the open. The momentum. When you have it, what do you do with it? You can get all the chances you want, but you got to get rewarded. And somehow, some way, this puck finds to the back of the net. Excellent puck movement, net front presence, and then a quick shot. Beats Skinner with Kachuk right around the blue paint.
This play all started on that hard around rim. Mo Maurice said to us this morning that in game 1, they didn't get to those pucks nearly quick enough. Barkov was able to lift the stick of the Edmonton defender, and from there, Florida gained possession. They hang on to it. Kulikov gets the puck to the net with the screen in front, and this thing is all tied up.
Kachuk was in the blue paint. There was a little bit of contact. The Oilers were looking at the monitors at their bench. Referee Chris Rooney skated over. It looked like head coach Chris Knobloch waved them off, and the Panthers rewarded with this outstanding play at even strength the last 3.5, 4 minutes for sure.
Remember, Knobloch lost the challenge in game 1. Well, Dmitry Kulikov has spent some time with the Edmonton Oilers back in the 2020-21 season. Has tied the game for Florida. His third career playoff goal in 72 games, second of this postseason. On Colson, hit by Gadjevich. Puck sent ahead for Janmark. Janmark facing with Kulikov, who takes Janmark to the boards, and Schmidt moves the puck ahead. Here's Gadjevich, wristing it into the Edmonton zone.
Puck went out of play.
Bounce off of Evan Bouchard in the Kulikov shot.
Kulikov from Verhaeghe and Jones. Ties the game at 3. Now Jones, who has 2 points tonight. Jones' shot gets blocked, and it deflects. Game 2, Stanley Cup final, tied 3 apiece. Oilers come out of their zone. Henrique tied up. Forsling moves the puck the other way. Now it's Wallman. Bennett in on the forecheck. Kachuk got a stick on the puck. And now he deflects it ahead. Picked up by Wallman. Nice move around Kachuk. Puts on the brakes. In behind the net, Frederick off the skate of Ekblad. Now it's Kachuk. Ahead to Rodriguez. Just past the midway point. Second period in Edmonton. Klingberg hit by Bennett. Puck sent back behind the net onto the stick of Wallman.
7 minutes plus now for the Edmonton Oilers without a shot on goal.
As Connor Brown moves it in deep. Bobrovsky will settle it down for Mikkola. And Jones holds. David on the ice for the Oilers. Here comes Mikkola. Putting wide on Bouchard. Throws it across the crease. Marchand with the puck for Florida. Back out for Jones. Blocked by Nugent Hopkins. Nugent Hopkins in his 14th season with Edmonton. Chasing along with Jones. Now McDavid behind the Florida goal. Here's Ekholm. Ekholm back out. Bouchard with a shot. Puck loose. Perry has it. Now in deep for McDavid.
That'll be coming up on Florida.
David held up by Loskarinen. Skinner off for the extra attacker. Touch made by Mikkola. Oilers to the power play. Oilers control the draw. Bouchard wide. Broke his stick on the shot. Bobrovsky down. And the puck is cleared.
Corey Perry in front of Sergei Bobrovsky.
David, Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, Perry, and Bouchard. Power play unit for the Oilers. Ekblad clears, hits a broken stick on the ice, allowing Nosek to play the puck for Florida. Now Loskarinen. Nosek falls down. Puck retrieved by Forsling. Held in by Nugent Hopkins. Loskarinen ahead for Forsling, and now Nosek lost it in his equipment. Pulling some time along the wall. Trying to get it through for Verhaeghe. Now Draisaitl. Back out for Nugent Hopkins. Look out. Here comes Marchand on a breakaway. Moving in on Skinner. Score! Shorthanded. 4-3 Florida.
When Marchand jumped on the ice in a shorthanded situation, he was wide open. Initially, he did not get the puck. But this one, he gets. The quick little up. A quick little fake, a stick handle, and then I believe right under the pads or between the legs of Stuart Skinner.
Got to have the trust. You got to read it. You got to anticipate. Marchand was betting that Lundell was going to get that puck, and he took off, and that little stick handle was able to open up Skinner as he puts it through the 5-hole. What a response by the Panthers after taking that penalty.
Marchand scored a power play goal in game 1. Shorthanded here in game 2 to give Florida the lead.
And think about how that power play started. A one face-off. Slow coverage by the Panthers. Bouchard is walking down Main Street, and he breaks his stick and never really gets a quality shot on goal. And then shortly after that. The Panthers had the Oilers on the run, and then Marchand makes the beautiful play. Quick little stick handle and slides it right between the legs of the goaltender.
Well, the Panthers with 2 goals here in the middle period on consecutive shots have regained the lead. Puck hits the helmet of Losterinen, and then it's cleared by Nosek. 10 seconds remaining on the Mikkola minor.
I hit Wallman on Nosek when he cleared that puck. Oh, what a hit. Nosek caught Arvidsson, and he's shaken up.
And now Nosek joined by Mikkola out of the penalty box. No shots on the power play for the Oilers.
And this second period is very similar to the second period of Game 1. Just unfortunately for the Panthers in that second period in Game 1, they were only able to get 1 goal. They had 17 shots in that second period. And be able to cash in, as you mentioned, Kenny, one more time here in the second of Game 2.
They held the Oilers to just 4 shots in this period. Now it's Klingberg. Moves the puck ahead for Frederick. Bottled up by Ekblad. Just over 6 minutes remaining in the second. Nurse up the boards. Ekblad. Now Klingberg. Net by Rodriguez. Ekblad keeps it alive. Now Janmark over for Edmonton. Forsling. Now Rodriguez. And across the line. Evan Rodriguez with a shot and then took a hard hit. Here comes Janmark coming the other way.
Carter took the hit.
Sam Bennett. Up ice for Mikkola. Here's Marchand. Marchand shooting. Saved by Skinner. Puck is loose. Scramble for the puck. Now in behind the net. Out in front for Seth Jones. Misses on that attempt. Here's Mikkola. That one gets blocked, and it is cleared. Knocked down by Jones and then taken away by Kapanen.
After Marchand's chance there, Skinner made a great stop on Mikkola, I believe, with the right pad.
Now Lundell for Marchand. Back around to Seth Jones. Here is Lundell with a shot through a screen. Blocked by Nurse.
Edmonton needs a whistle or something here. They got to slow this down here.
Here's Lundell who set up Marchand shorthanded. Kulikov with a shot. That was deflected on the way in. What a stop by Skinner.
What a save by Skinner. That was tipped down and bounced up.
Kulikov sends to the corner. Puck cleared out. Schmidt racing back. Was deflected. No icing. What a push here in the second period by the Florida Panthers. Here comes Verhaeghe. Now Barkov. Kept it away from Bouchard.
That was a 2-minute, 19-second shift for each Janmark and Nurse.
Here's Verhaeghe, back out for Reinhart. And then Ekblad. Ekblad with a shot. And now Skinner will cover. Mikkola with the puck for Florida. Now Verhaeghe. Over the stick of Skinner. Nurse looking around. Up the boards for Kane. Kept in the zone by the Panthers. Barkov with a long shot, blocked aside by Skinner.
Another turnover there. Panger's interview with Coach Knobloch of the Oilers, talking about this careless plays in the own zone leading to the offense of the Florida Panthers. There's another example.
Puck cut off behind the net by Nurse. Up the boards from Verhaeghe. Jones shoving Kane to the ice.
Florida's absolutely on the walls here in the second period.
Puck comes back out to Jones, slides it across for a shot by Forsling. That was blocked and cleared. And this will be an icing call against the Oilers as we check in with Jackie Redmond. Jackie.
Well, guys, stop me if you've heard this before. Brad Marchand turning out to be the perfect fit for the Florida Panthers. You take a look at the postseason ranks among active players, he's 4th in goals in the playoffs, but he's talked so much on this run about his gratitude for this moment and embracing the moment. He's talked about forgetting entire series as a Boston Bruin and taking that season, that historic regular season, for granted, and how right now he's living more in the moment than he ever has in his career. And clearly that is working for him with the Florida Panthers because he's had an impact in both games of this series so far.
Playing his 4th Stanley Cup final. Thanks, Jackie.
Big hit there between Tkachuk and Nurse.
Forsling around to Ekblad. Puck deflected along by Tkachuk. with 3 minutes to play here in period 2. Marchand with the go-ahead goal, shorthanded.
David and Draisaitl out here together.
Here's Draisaitl. Sent back out by Perry for Ekholm. And now a shot by Draisaitl. That's gloved.
10-1.
Wow.
In favor of the Florida Panthers.
David Draisaitl remain out. Marchand flips the puck ahead. Here's Losterinen along with Bouchard. Ekholm moves it up the boards. Another heavy hit. That time by Losterinen on Bouchard. And now the Oilers with a 2-on-1 down low. And a save on McDavid, and then a second by Bobrovsky. Where's the puck? Play continues. McDavid finally back up onto his skates.
What a strong play there by Sergei Bobrovsky.
Now here's Marchand. In with a shot, stopped by Skinner. And then Losterinen looking for a rebound.
Bouchard's going to get a penalty here. He retaliates. He did not like the slash by Losterinen, and he went to Losterinen in the corner, and Bouchard gave him a cross-check. When Gretz said what he did, and they have done that. They have turned the cheek, and Bouchard gets caught there with the cross-check, and what a chance here for the Panthers late in period 2.
Florida 1 for 3 on the power play. They also have a shorthanded goal. Bouchard in the box. Here's Ekblad out for Tkachuk. Now Seth Jones. Panthers setting up on the power play, leading by a goal. Tkachuk shoots. Now Ekblad. Down to a minute 40 remaining in the period. Puck along the wall. Oilers gain control, and it's cleared by Henrique. Fresh Edmonton penalty killers on the ice. Here's Reinhart. Down to a minute 20. Barkov deflects it back out for Tkachuk. Now Barkov. Seth Jones. Jones comes away from Janmark. Net by Wallman. Puck sent into the corner. Ekholm chasing with Tkachuk. Barkov along the wall. Puck comes across. Jones with it. And now Reinhart. Final minute of the period. Out to Jones. And now Barkov. Tkachuk out in front looking for Verhaeghe. Now a Florida penalty as Janmark was hooked. Teams will skate 4 aside. Four skaters aside. McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice for Edmonton. Marchand and Bennett, the Florida forwards. Here comes Forsling. Down to 40 seconds. Here in period 2. Forsling away from McDavid. Shoots wide. Marchand over to play the puck along the wall. Marchand with Forsling tapping his stick. Now Forsling fires, and that's stopped by Skinner. 22 seconds.
Very defensive-minded here for Florida. With the matchup against the two big boys out there for the Oilers, and Draisaitl and McDavid up front.
Lundell won the draw. Forsling for Mikkola. Around behind for Lundell, pressed by Klingberg. 10 seconds remaining on the penalty, and now 12 in the period. Klingberg comes away with the puck. Bouchard out of the box.
Boy, those Serena took a run at Klingberg and just missed him.
Klingberg, he seems to be upset about it. He's got to be careful.
As we begin the third period, Florida Panthers had a 1-goal lead heading into the third in game 1 as well.
What a game. What an awesome game so far. 2 periods of play. Just unbelievable entertainment.
Oilers start the period on the power play. Verhaeghe in the box for just over a minute as Ekblad fires the puck in. We said the same thing on Wednesday night. What a game of the series opener. More of the same here tonight. Here's McDavid. Nugent Hopkins out to Bouchard. Now Draisaitl. Bouchard, who had 3 points in the first period. Draisaitl across. McDavid pounded by Nosek.
Good angle there by Nosek.
Draisaitl with 40 seconds remaining on the penalty. McDavid with it. Puck was deflected by Luostarinen. Draisaitl looking. Moves it down low. Nugent Hopkins back out to Bouchard. 25 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Here's McDavid. David holds, now shoots, save Bobrovsky. Nosek moves the puck to the boards. McDavid hit by Nosek. Bouchard goes behind the back to McDavid. Down low for Perry. And now it's Bouchard once again.
He hits the net, that's in the net.
Perry hit hard by Nosek. Penalty expires. McDavid had it poked away by Luostarinen. There's Verhaeghe just out of the box. Bouchard back. Verhaeghe cuts to the net. Maintains control of the puck. Leaves it for Mikkola. Mikkola shot off the skate of Darnell Nurse. Vander Kane clears the puck up ice.
How about that penalty killing there by Nosek and Luostarinen there? A couple of great plays defensively. And then the big hit in the corner there with Perry. And an icing call here against the Oilers.
Oilers control the draw. Early third period at Edmonton. Nurse. Connor Brown pokes it ahead. Dave Schmidt and Brown come together. Kulikov in. Schmidt pokes it ahead for Tkachuk. Panthers break out of their zone. Matthew Tkachuk up the boards and down. Bennett along with Kulak. Now Rodriguez comes over. Henrik with the puck for the Oilers. He trail the Panthers 4-3. Bennett lost the handle. Here's Connor Brown. Oilers go for a change. Schmidt with a couple of assists tonight. Janmark in on the forecheck. Fourth line on the ice for Florida. Nosek back out. It was outstanding, as Eddie mentioned, on that penalty kill to start the period. Nosek keeps the puck alive. Gadjevich got the stick in on Klingberg. Puck flipped out of the zone, and Mikkola will send it right back down. Now the Panthers change. Janmark for Puck Colson. Arvidsson beat Mikkola to the puck. Here's Marchand, who scored the go-ahead goal. Takes a hit from Puck Colson. And now it's Lundell. Marchand shorthanded, set up by Lundell. Lundell backhands in. Now Bouchard for Edmonton. Cut off by Forsling.
Big boys back together at even strength.
Marchand took the puck away from Ekholm. Marchand shoots. Look at the odds from DraftKings Sportsbook.
David and Draisaitl out there together.
Now Ekblad. Luostarinen for Florida. And across the line. Backhands the puck around for Reinhart. Reinhart held up by Bouchard. Draisaitl comes over. Now Barkov for Florida. Kapanen. 4 minutes in, third period. Oilers won the series opener in overtime, 4-3. On a Leon Draisaitl power play goal. Here's Connor McDavid. McDavid in with a shot. Schmidt got a piece of that one. Cleared out by Barkov, and then gathered in by Kulak. Both teams changing. Vander Kane held up by Tkachuk. Tkachuk sends it back into the Edmonton zone. Skinner settles the puck down for Nurse. Rodriguez keeps it alive. Now Tkachuk tried to knock it out of the air.
And found a way to tilt the ice in their favor. Terrific job by the Panthers in the second 20.
Kulikov tied it. And then Marchand with his second career shorthanded goal in a Stanley Cup final game. He did it on this date 14 years ago against Panthers executive Roberto Luongo in the Boston-Vancouver series.
Gadjevich with a big hit on Klingberg. Well, Maurice going to this fourth line. They've had a couple of good, effective shifts to start this third period. This puck was deflected. They're in the ice boost, right? I mean, they have a couple of good shifts. Get them out there and let them play. If not, then you got to go and make that decision within your gut. That's the way that Maurice did it in game one. And this line is, the fourth line is getting some more looks here. Start the third in game two.
Seth Jones back on the puck for the Panthers. Knocked down by Connor Brown. Jones and Henrique. Now Mikkola comes over. Deflected by Lostarinen. And then kept in the zone momentarily by the Oilers. Cleared out by Mikkola. Lostarinen with it. Shoots in. Panthers go for a full change. Just over 14 minutes remaining in regulation. Florida leading by a goal. The Marchand unit out for the Panthers. McDavid and Draisaitl together for the Edmonton Oilers. Here's McDavid, puts on the brakes. Back out for a shot by Bouchard, and Bobrovsky covers.
Maybe not. And then before that face-off, watch Marchand. He's telling Arvidsson, I don't know if he's questioning his height or not, but Marchand certainly, he's had a lot to say in this game. Marchand talking like he's 6'4".
Who has the go-ahead goal.
Most things are on the table.
Let me tell you something. There's a lot worse being said down here at ice level than that. I will not divulge it, but...
Now McDavid with the puck for the Oilers. Out to Bouchard. And then across. There's Ekholm. That did not get through. Reinhart swats the puck. Hit on Stuart Skinner.
Florida's got to have an offensive shift here. I know we're right around a TV timeout. Florida's got to have an offensive zone shift. It's been a lot of just dumping a thing in and just playing defense.
Into the Panthers zone, it's Evander Kane. Nate Schmidt hit by Kane. Puck comes to Kachuk, and then he dropped it back for Kulikov. Sent back along by Nurse. Under 13 minutes remaining in regulation. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Florida Panthers with a 4-3 advantage. Fans of Let's Go Oilers from the home crowd. Edmonton looking to win their first Stanley Cup since 1990. Lost in 7 to the Florida Panthers last June. Now Klingberg for Edmonton. Walman up the right side. Mikkola came together with Podkolzin. Here comes Boqvist with speed. Jesper Boqvist cutting wide. And behind the net, Kulak stays with him. Nosek and Janmark plucked along the glass and boards. Sent through the crease. And now it is Mikkola. Fake the shot. Back around behind the net. Deflected by Gadjevich. Now Janmark. Smarts out of his own zone for the Oilers. Here's Walman. Wrists the puck around. Under 12 minutes remaining. McDavid with it. McDavid waving for Draisaitl. Sends down low. Opportunity from Walman from in close. Deflects out on the ice following the TV timeout. Here's Corey Perry in behind the net. Perry out in front, kicked out by Bobrovsky. And now it's for Hagee, up the boards and down. Racing after it with Bouchard. Hagee maintains control of the puck. Down low for Reinhart, pressed off by Ekholm. Now McDavid and Barkov. Perry across for Draisaitl. 3 Panthers back. Draisaitl looks to split through. Draisaitl to the net. What a burst.
Unfortunately, that puck was bouncing pretty much the whole way by Draisaitl. I mean, he was surrounded on his side of the red line, and it was somehow he's able to just get that puck and get it in behind the D and create the chance.
Here's Connor Brown, held up by Mikkola. Now it's Rodriguez for Florida.
Oilers have 5 chances in this third period. Florida's still looking for their first.
Sam Bennett, Kulak come together. Arvidsson moves the puck out. Schmidt back the other way. Late offside. Panthers clear the zone. 10.5 remaining. Oilers had a 3-2 lead after 1. Kulikov and Marchand with goals for the Panthers in the second period. Panthers have iced the puck.
Opportunity to settle it down.
Lostarinen comes away with the puck for the Panthers. Lostarinen, big hit on Klingberg. Here comes Walman. Off the skate of Nugent Hopkins, picked up by Nosek. Nosek in with a shot. Glove save, Skinner hangs on.
A tad long. There's no doubt.
That Blade has 10 postseason goals, 3 consecutive years, joining Mike Bossy and Wayne Gretzky. 3 players in NHL history, at least 10 goals, 3 straight playoffs.
That is rare air, as we like to say.
Here is Henrique, cuts to the backhand, puck in front, cleared down by Tkachuk. Race for the puck. Kulak and Rodriguez. Kulak gains control. Now Nurse. We heard from Panger. Happy anniversary to Panger.
It's a great day.
Happy birthday, Ace. Happy anniversary, Panger. I know a great research fan, Christian Yastrzemski, celebrated a birthday yesterday. Saved by Skinner. Verhaeghe coming out from behind the net. Cardell Nurse controls the puck for the Oilers. Kulak moves it up the boards.
Play. Cole's in there. Make sure that puck got out with the battle with Kulikov.
Here's Verhaeghe. Now puck Colson and Barkov.
Nice pick up there by McDavid from the skate to the stick. And then what a back check. Great job there by Verhaeghe.
Carter Verhaeghe, excellent defensive play on McDavid. 8.5 remaining. Third period in Edmonton. Puck flipped high in the air by Forsling. Sent in deep by Lundell, Bouchard, and Marchand. Marchand finishes his check on Evan Bouchard, and now the Oilers come out 3-on-2. McDavid, cross ice, Perry in with a shot, and that's swallowed up by Forsling. Batted out of the air. And now the Panthers gain control. Rostarinen to the Edmonton line. Ekholm quickly up the boards for Draisaitl. Gains a step on Forsling. Slides it across Perry, and what another terrific defensive play. Again, it's Verhaeghe. Well, that time, Rostarinen. It was Verhaeghe the first time. And now the Oilers are offside. 7:47 to go. Third period. Panthers control the faceoff. The Oilers have been a terrific comeback team in these playoffs. 7 come from behind wins, including 4 third period comebacks. They trail by a goal here tonight in Game 2. Now Schmidt flips it out. We said a lot of those high flips by the Panthers as usual here tonight. The Chuck winds it around for Bennett. Bennett pushed off by Klingberg. Wallman. Panthers go for a full change. Here's Klingberg through the neutral zone. Puck deflected in by Kane. Kane, first one to it. Now Connor Brown. Around to Nurse. Back in behind the net. Stepping up is Kulak. Finds Nugent Hopkins. Now Brown, defended by Mikkola. Back out to the point for Nurse. And then across to Kulak. Kulak shot. Blocked by Gadjevich.
Yeah, good play there. And he gets the puck out.
Here's Boquist. And now Kulak with 6:40 remaining. Forsling unable to get it deep. Reinhart knocked down by the glove of Kulak. Kulak playing in his 3rd Stanley Cup Finals. Forsling over to pick up the loose puck. Verhaeghe and Kulak in a collision. And now it's Bouchard for the Oilers. Henrique. Blocked off by Forsling. Puck cleared out by the Panthers. Verhaeghe will move it along. He took a hit from Kapanen.
Good stick there, Ekblad.
Puck into the right of Stuart Skinner. 6 minutes on the clock. Third period. Oilers lead the series 1 game to none. Trailing tonight 4-3. Before the series shifts to South Florida.
Got a 2-for-1 here with Draisaitl and McDavid. Got a TV timeout coming. The next stoppage.
Both superstars have 2 points tonight. Here's Lundell. Knocked down by Perry. Played by Rostarinen. Glove by Skinner. Puts it down behind his goal. Lundell over to play the puck. He won it away from Ekholm. Here's Tkachuk down low. Heads for the net, and a stick save made on Lundell by Skinner. Mikkola keeps it alive. Kachuk to the far side. McDavid deflects it ahead. Corey Perry picked off by Mikkola.
This is where you want to play for the Florida Panthers. When the two big guys are on the ice, and McDavid and Draisaitl force them to defend.
Puck kept in the zone by the Panthers. Here's Reinhart towards the net, saved by Skinner. Draisaitl with it. Circles away from Rodriguez. Under 5 minutes to go.
Long shift here for Ekholm, who gets off the ice, and Bouchard over a minute and a half.
Puck flipped down by Nugent Hopkins. Kulikov works it ahead to Rodriguez. Down into the Edmonton zone. This will be a Florida icing. Battle for the puck off the draw. Played by Trent Frederick. Here's Klingberg off the pass from Wallman. Klingberg backs it up.
Good job by Reinhart there. Excellent job.
Back out it comes to Wallman. Off the end boards, and then a save by Bobrovsky on Nugent Hopkins.
He was on his knee.
Puck is pinned in the corner.
Hit up high too there by Kulikov.
Looked like he landed pretty hard on his back as well.
McDavid drives Draisaitl back out. Bouchard moves the puck into the corner for McDavid. There's Bouchard at the right point. Wrist one. Puck loose after the Bobrovsky stop. And the Panthers now moving into the Edmonton zone. It's Forsling. Under 4 to play. Regulation in Edmonton. Now Ekblad back to retrieve. There's the zone. Ekholm back to the Oilers end.
Got to think the next time that Draisaitl and McDavid are ready, which won't be probably the next shift, and they have control of the puck, you got to think Skinner's going to come off for the extra attacker.
Oh boy.
There's Connor Brown! Stick save for Bobrovsky!
Well, the Oilers bench wanted it too many men. It was hard to tell there was a Panther player that jumped on.
There's Rostarinic for Florida with Lundell. Birch ahead for Connor Brown. Cuts away from Lundell. Here's Kulak. 3 minutes to go in the third.
That's what caught the Oiler bench off guard.
You can't touch him when you're not on the ice, so you got to make sure you get both those skates down and then be able to be involved in the play.
Puck set in by Kachuk. Nurse lines it up the boards. No icing this time. 2:40 remaining. Combined 5 goals in the first period. Edmonton led 3-2. Panthers feet. Edmonton controls. Here is Bouchard. Back out it comes. Bouchard shoots. That's blocked and the puck hit Benetti.
Really shoot it.
Draisaitl McDavid. Nugent Hopkins. Perry. Puck cleared by Verhaeghe. Here's Wallman. Now Bouchard. We approach 2 minutes on the clock. There's McDavid around Marchand. Cuts wide on Jones. Sending it back out. Wallman. Now Bouchard. Under 2 minutes to go. McDavid. Wallman. 6 skaters on the ice for the Oilers. Here's Bouchard to the near side. Draisaitl. Back across for Bouchard. Deflected out of the zone. Great stick. Mikkola. Retrieved by Leon Draisaitl. A minute 35. Oilers need a goal.
Great stick there by Lundell.
Skinner between the circles. A minute 31 remaining. Draisaitl and Barkov. McDavid with the puck. There goes Skinner. Ekholm across the line. Extra skater comes out. It's Perry. Puck fired around by Ekholm. Cut off by the stick of Forsling.
Yeah, great read there.
Perry kept it alive at the line. Now Draisaitl in the corner. A minute 15. Barkov knocked to the ice. Puck comes out to the point. Bouchard. Here's Ekholm. Out to Bouchard. Sidestep close to Rated. Sends down low. Now Bouchard. Pass across. Oh, what a chance for Draisaitl! Now the puck deflects over the glass, out of play with 56 seconds.
What a pass. What an unbelievable pass, and what a stop. You called it, Kenny. Draisaitl just not able to elevate this puck. There's the brilliant pass over, and look at this. Oh my.
Oh my. I can't tell you how hard that is for Bobrovsky. He has to respect McDavid driving down on that strong side. You can't cheat. If he does, he's going to put it to the net. What a job by Bobrovsky to get across on after that wonderful feed by McDavid.
Marchand and Barkov. Oilers control. Bouchard over to Ekholm. 50 seconds. Good stick, Reinhart. Barkov pushed to the boards by McDavid. McDavid sending it back out for Ekholm. Now Bouchard.
No
40
stick
seconds.
for Jones. Now he's got Barkov's stick.
Puck flipped ahead. Now controlled and cleared by Reinhart. It's a Florida icing with 30 5/10 seconds. Off the draw, kept alive by the Oilers. Puck sent to the corner for Perry. Back out to McDavid. Now Wallman. Wallman shoots. Puck is loose. Score! Score! Corey Perry!
Gave himself an angle, and then Corey Perry is able to go short side. Unbelievable.
Time winding down. Game 2 headed to overtime.
Connor Brown and Sam Bennett at the end of the game.
In 2014, the last time games 1 and 2 of the Cup final went past regulation.
Remember in game 1, the Florida Panthers came out like gangbusters in overtime. Had a couple of good looks, and Stuart Skinner made a couple of early saves. See how this game 2 overtime starts.
David Draisaitl on the ice to begin overtime. Look at the odds from DraftKings Sportsbook. Here's Ekblad for the Panthers. Sam Reinhart blocked off at the line by Matthias Ekholm. Puck played by Ekblad. Backhanded in by Verhaeghe. Skinner pressured by Barkov behind the goal. Now Draisaitl picks up the loose puck. Draisaitl with the overtime winner in game 1. Here comes McDavid. Moving in on Mikkola. McDavid looking for Draisaitl. Jones broke it up. Now Draisaitl sends in front. And Mikkola comes away with the puck. Here's Tkachuk. In on goal. Glove by Skinner. 1 minute gone by in overtime. Oilers looking to take a 2-0 lead. Before this series shifts to Sunrise, Florida. Last year, the Florida Panthers won the first 3 games of the Cup final from Edmonton. Oilers took the next 3. Now Kane sends the puck around for Nurse. Nugent Hopkins battling with Lundell. Puck squirts free. Kept alive by Connor Brown. Nurse steps up. Off the stick of Kulikov. Played by Lundell. Bounced away from Marchand. Back into the Florida zone. Flipped towards the net by Brown. Held by Bobrovsky. Puck played along the wall by Arvidsson. Out to Wallman. He shoots wide. And then Bobrovsky able to make the stop. From a sharp angle on Henrique. There's Verhaeghe. In on goal. Skinner moves it into the corner for Klingberg, and now Wallman. Reinhart in on the forecheck for the Panthers. 4-4 in overtime. Game 2, Stanley Cup final. Wallman out with pass Janmark. Held up by Schmidt. Nate Schmidt back to retrieve. There's Mikula off the stick of Bennett. Just very confident for the Oilers. Backhands the puck around. Janmark up the boards. Picked off by Bennett. Bennett stepped into by puck Poulsen. Kapanen plays the puck. He has an overtime goal during the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now it's Kulak. 3 minutes into overtime. Puck into the left of Bobrovsky. Mikula on it there. Here comes Marchand. Lost the puck momentarily. Cross ice to Rodriguez. Rodriguez throws one towards the net. Now Perry finds McDavid with speed. McDavid moving it on Forsling. Throws it through the crease. And now it's Rodriguez clearing the puck down. And this will be a Florida icing through the ice like that. Draisaitl, McDavid, Perry. Draisaitl wins the draw back to Bouchard. Bouchard fires. Hit off his own man, Perry. Marchand plays the puck. Rodriguez for Florida. Puck out of play. Draisaitl wins another face-off. Connor Brown out here with McDavid and Draisaitl. There's Reinhart. Moves the puck in deep. Bouchard back for Edmonton. Cut off by Barkov. Barkov towards the net. Blocked in front. Here's Draisaitl. Into the Florida zone. Connor Brown and Forsling. Draisaitl with the puck. Draisaitl bothered by Barkov. Sent across by Verhaeghe, and now it's Reinhart. Bouncing in on Skinner. There's Wallman for Edmonton. Big Wallman starts up ice. Now Draisaitl. Draisaitl and McDavid still out. Got by Draisaitl. That's handled by Bobrovsky. Face-off controlled by the Panthers. Seth Jones up the middle. Tkachuk. Tkachuk knocked to the ice.
They actually tried to bounce that puck back to Bennett, who was coming up with some speed, but wasn't able to complete that play.
Mikula shoots in, no icing. Skinner behind his goal. Puck deflected in by Frederick. Bobrovsky settles it down for Jones. Up the right side, Rodriguez. Tied at 4 in overtime. Here's Skinner. Up the boards.
If you're Florida, you got to keep the puck away from Skinner. He's anticipating that puck. When the shoot-ins are happening, you can't establish a forecheck when that happens.
Kane looking for the puck. Now Henrique just out of the reach of Brown. Boquist starts ahead with it. Sent in on goal by Schmidt. Knocked aside by Skinner. Boquist in behind the net. It's Nurse. Second consecutive overtime game to begin this Stanley Cup final. Draisaitl the hero in game 1. Puck cut off by Ekblad. Now played by Marchand with Luostarinen. Around Nurse. Over to Lundell. Puck bouncing into the corner. Kulak back behind for Nurse. And now Arvidsson will send it ahead. Lundell knocks it down with his glove. Played by Janmark. 3 Panthers back. Hooked away by Luostarinen. And now the Oilers regroup. It's Kulak. 6 minutes gone by in overtime. Ekblad looking around. Picks up the puck. Up the middle for Barkov, the Panthers captain. Alexander Barkov. Defended by McDavid. Ekholm comes over. Back out for a shot by Verhaeghe. And now the Oilers with it once again. It's Bouchard. Puck played by Janmark. And a blocker save by Bobrovsky. Here's Ekholm. Ekholm backhands one wide. Draisaitl battling with Mikula. Knocks Draisaitl to the ice. Markov plays the puck. Here's Seth Jones leading the rush. 4-4 in overtime. Ekholm knocked down by Bennett. And now the Oilers moving ahead. McDavid coming in 1-on-2. Now Kapanen beats Bennett to the loose puck. Bouchard up the left side and down. The Oilers have iced it. Panthers win the draw. Here's Schmidt. Behind the net. Pass Rodriguez. Flipped ahead by Bouchard. Now Henrique. Oilers tied this game late. Under 20 seconds remaining. In the third period, the 1942 mark, Corey Perry tied the game at 4. Puck into the right of Bobrovsky. Kapanen gets past Schmidt. Kasperi Kapanen sends it back around to the near side. Wallman steps up. Met by Tkachuk. Now a shot by Podkolzin is gloved by Bobrovsky.
Vander Kane's got a lot to say before this puck is being dropped here.
Got it with alive to Devin Berg. Puck along the wall. Oilers keep it alive. Kane around to the far side. Barkov on it there. Verhaeghe and Nugent Hopkins. Ekblad moves the puck out. Just over 8 minutes elapsed here at OT. Into the right of Bobrovsky. Frederick. Behind the net, Nugent Hopkins. Out it comes for a shot by Klingberg. Off the mark. Reinhart controls for Florida with Barkov. Now Verhaeghe, who has 5 career playoff overtime goals. Klingberg. Pressured by Verhaeghe, who takes it away. Out in front, Marchand! What a chance! It's up behind Skinner!
And Klingberg pulled it off the goal line. The turnover by Klingberg. The pressure by Verhaeghe. Marchand had jumped on the ice fresh. He faked the shot. He goes to the backhand, and Stuart Skinner. Oh my goodness, what a save. And then Marchand goes back. Watch this puck go. Second chance. There it is. Wow. Oh, off the post.
Wow. What a save by Skinner. Wow. Incredible.
Lundell, Losterinen, Marchand. Offensive zone draw. Wallman looking to play the puck. Comes towards the net. Now in behind. Here's Lundell trying to get it through to Marchand. Mikula. Now Losterinen. Losterinen held up by Wallman. Oilers move the puck out. Cleared by Kane.
Good job there with Jones in his pocket.
There's Lundell. In with a shot. Gloved by Skinner. Another offensive zone face-off. This one controlled by the Oilers. Ekholm behind his own goal. Bennett, top of the crease on the forecheck. Long out with pass. Deflected in for Arvidsson. And then it's chipped back the other way by Ekblad. Bennett into the Edmonton zone. Now it's Ekholm. Ekholm from center. Forsling up the boards. Bennett. Bennett ahead off the stick of Rodriguez. Played by Ekholm. Now Forsling back to retrieve. There's Rodriguez to the red line. Shoots in. We've played 10 minutes in overtime. Game 2. Tied 4 apiece. Puck deflected in by Perry, who sent this game to overtime. Podkolzin and Mikula, 2 big bodies. Puck comes back out for a shot by Nurse off the glass. Kulak moves it in deep. Nugent Hopkins held up by Mikula. Back out it comes for Nurse. Down low behind the Florida goal. Now McDavid with it. McDavid spinning on Seth Jones.
Broken stick for Mikula.
Here's Nurse with a shot, missed the net. Barkov comes away with the puck. Mikula still without a stick. Looks to glove the puck back to his teammate Barkov. And now the Panthers out of trouble. It's Seth Jones leading the rush. There's Reinhart in with a shot, saved by Skinner, and then another. Has it deflected back towards him. In one playoff year, Perry and Matthew Tkachuk also on that list. Puck sent out by Kulak. Now it's Rodriguez for Florida.
Draisaitl off the ice now.
Forsling shoots in. Puck kept alive by the Panthers. Rodriguez stripped. Now Tkachuk. Onto the stick of Rodriguez, picked off by Arvidsson. Here's Kulak. With number 99 in the building, it's the 99th overtime game in the history of the Stanley Cup Final. Here's Rodriguez. Up the right side, past Marchand.
Studio guys on site with us.
Here is Ekholm, faked a shot. Now McDavid, defended by Forsling. McDavid sending it back out for Bouchard. Puck loose to the left of the Florida goal. Now Draisaitl chasing along with Marchand. Carried out by Lundell. Up the boards and down. Panthers go for a change. Bouchard sends the puck ahead. Played by Mikula. And now Seth Jones. Ostarinen. Ostarinen, cross ice. Picked off, looking for Lundell. McDavid got a piece of it.
Ostarinen had a chance to just get that puck to the blue paint, but he tried to make a more difficult play and it wasn't there.
Now here's Draisaitl, held up by Mikula. Trent Frederick sending the puck back around for Klingberg. Klingberg towards the net. Hand save for Bobrovsky. Frederick with it for the Oilers. Back out for a shot that winds up in the corner. Ostarinen over for Florida. Now Mikula chased by Nugent Hopkins. Seth Jones moves the puck down.
Holding a sign.
That's become the norm over the first two games of this series.
Yeah, definitely not organic.
There's Gadjevich, and now the Panthers can change following the icing. Wallman sends the puck out. Schmidt over for the Panthers. Schmidt and Kane battle. And now it's moved in deep by Wallman. Kulikov back on it. Now Kapanen, good hustle. Puck played by Verhaeghe. Back around looking for Schmidt. Reinhart over for the Panthers. Held in by the Oilers. Shot by Nurse was high. There's Verhaeghe. Into the Edmondson zone. Reinhart chasing with Nurse. Reinhart sends it around behind for Verhaeghe. Puck pulls it up the boards. Kulikov steps up. Now Verhaeghe. Puck pulls it, and the Oilers clear.
Big play happening there, under pressure.
We played 14 minutes in overtime. Puck pulls it off the high glass. Forsling back to pick it up for Florida in a 4-4 game. Now Arvidsson. Ekblad for the Panthers. Bennett deflects it down into the left of Skinner. Bouchard. Now Connor Brown drops it on back. Here's Henrique for Brown. Connor Brown kicked out. Bad save for Bobrovsky.
Heck of a play there by Brown to get that puck from his skate to his stick.
Puck sent in by Boquist. Marchand and Bouchard. Now Bennett comes over. Ekholm able to clear. Mikula for Florida. Now Henrique. Jones plays the puck. Here's Mikula. It's over 15 minutes into overtime. It ended late with overtime on Wednesday night. Now McDavid with Draisaitl. Here's Draisaitl. Back out for Wallman. He falls down. And now a breakaway. Reinhart. The game on a stick. Reinhart in with a shot. And now it's kept alive by Barkov. His pass picked off. What a chance, Sam Reinhart. Schmidt up the right side. Reinhart waiting. Verhaeghe lifts the puck down. Icing.
They make it deep, but I got to be honest with you, the ice is not that good. Only one ice scrape in overtime. They have two less than we normally see in the regular period, so perhaps the ice being poor was the reason why Reinhart chose to shoot.
Here comes Kane. Evander Kane pulls the string and then it's knocked off his stick.
What a play by Forsling. Making like a helicopter there.
And now Forsling into the Edmonton zone. Puck sent back down. It's an icing.
What a play by Evander Kane in the neutral zone to avoid Aaron Ekblad. And then Forsling comes over. You come all the way over. You better get that puck or the man. And then right there.
Wow.
Swinging that stick like a helicopter. And he's able to make the play. One thing I will say, Bush, on the Reinhart play, he could go short, pull it in, and shoot it back towards the glove up top. Looked like there was some room there.
Now Kachuk for Bennett. Sam Bennett back behind the net. Kept away from Kachuk by Kulak. Rodriguez plays the puck for the Panthers. Tied up. Nurse. Ahead for Frederick. Sends it back around. Here's Kulak. Bangs it up the boards. Kachuk keeps it alive. Mikula down low. Rodriguez. Back out for Mikula, who fires. Skinner was looking for it, then it came across the crease.
Rodriguez shot it back through the blue paint in between the goaltender and the net.
Here's Matthew Kachuk up the middle. Deflected in by Lostarinen. Turned aside by Skinner. Puck played by Lundell. Now Nurse. Nurse. Up the boards and down. Panthers control. Here's Schmidt with a shot. Did not get through. Henrique over to play the puck. Lifts it down ice. Markov and Henrique. Oilers control. It's Nurse. Nurse through the neutral zone. Puck comes around to Henrique. In behind the net. Markov kept it away from Kane. Now played by Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe lifts it down into the right of the Edmonton goal. It's an icing at the other end. In game one, Oilers win the draw. Here is Bouchard with a shot. Puck played by Corey Perry, who tied the game late in the third. Now Draisaitl. McDavid pushed to the boards by Kulak. Perry comes over. Now Kulikov and Schmidt. And now Kulikov will skate it out. Reinhart. Bouchard got his stick lifted. Puck comes to Kachuk, who fires. Couldn't get it through.
Another good play by Verhaeghe below the goal line.
Puck set in by Draisaitl. Forsling kept it away from McDavid. Forsling with a hit behind the net on Perry. Puck comes out to Kulak. Now Draisaitl. Down low for Kulak. Draisaitl to the bench. Kulak plays the puck towards the net. Blocker down by Bobrovsky and then cleared ahead by Rodriguez for Kachuk. Puck kept alive by Rodriguez on the attempted clear by Wallman. Too far for Arvidsson. Sent back down into the Edmonton zone. And Wallman is on it there as we hit 1 minute remaining in the overtime period.
Everything is hard when you're not turning down any opportunities to fire that puck. Instead of stick handle or whatever, just make hard plays in all three zones.
There's Ekholm. Fires the puck down. And Panthers control. Mikula in behind the net. Markov. Markov presses the boards. Down to 30 seconds. Continues to battle with Ekholm. Now Reinhart, who had a breakaway earlier in this overtime. Reinhart sends the puck back around. Now it's Jones. Seth Jones with a shot. Tapping it over for Edmonton. Here's Nugent Hopkins. 10 seconds. Frederick with the return. Nugent Hopkins down to 5. There's Nurse. Moves in with a backhand shot. And the first overtime period comes to an end. McDavid, Draisaitl, and Perry to start the period for the Oilers up against Markov, Verhaeghe, Reinhart. Here we go, period number 5. Bouchard with 3 points in the first period. Wrists the puck in. Perry in pursuit with Forsling. Puck comes out of the zone, sent back along by Bouchard, and now sent the other way by Barkov. Draisaitl and Barkov. Barkov wins the draw. Puck set up the right side by Ekblad for Reinhart. Blocked by Bouchard. Barkov knocks the puck into the corner for Verhaeghe. Out to Forsling. Gustav Forsling sends it back around. Off the stick of Verhaeghe. Picked up by McDavid. McDavid for Draisaitl. Draisaitl poked away by Forsling.
Well, he's made a couple of those type of plays here tonight.
A look at the odds from DraftKings Sportsbook in a 4-4 game. Overtime number 2. Both teams made changes. Kulak with the puck for Edmonton. Coming out of his own zone. Mikkola turns it back. Now Luostarinen. Luostarinen looking to set up Marchand. Mikkola with a shot. Saved by Skinner, but the play was offside.
A game now where cramps can be an issue for some players.
Early in overtime number 2. Walman moves the puck out of the zone.
Two players, Gadjevich and Boquist, in the 7-minute range. The lowest for the Oilers, Podkolzin in the 11-minute range. So Chris Knoblauch has used more of his bench than Paul Maurice has in this game too, as well as game 1.
Both lines played pretty good. Bruce for no stick for Kulikov for Florida so far in this game.
Puck sent back out to the point. Rollman now Klingberg. Bouncing puck bounced away from Brown. Bennett moves it ahead. And now it's Rodriguez. Evan Rodriguez. Around to the far side for Sam Bennett. Taken away by Klingberg. Around it comes to Forsling. Shot did not get through. Here's Klingberg. Taken away by Gadjevich. Regained momentarily by Klingberg. And now it's Forsling. Forsling sends it back around. Frederick lost an edge, allowing Nosek to gain control of the puck. Nosek held up by Kulak. Gadjevich comes in. And now it's Evander Kane. Leaned on by Boquist. Those two players, Bruce, that you just mentioned, have not played much.
If it's the Panthers, how close they were, I feel like it's a must-win for the Panthers in order to stay alive in this thing.
I don't push because I don't think they'd sweat it either way.
Panthers control the draw. In behind the net, it's Barkov. Have the puck taken away by Bouchard. Now Seth Jones.
That Kapanen out here with Draisaitl and McDavid.
Puck sent in by Barkov. Ekholm on it for the Oilers. Fresh bodies on the ice for Florida. We played just over 3 minutes in overtime number 2. Tied at 4. Game 2 of the Stanley Cup Final. Puck deflected in by Kapanen. And now Forsling on it. Ahead for Luostarinen. Now Lundell. Lundell held off by Kulak. Kapanen comes over. Ernst had to take it away and a save by Skinner on Marchand. Ernst flips it ahead. Marchand took down McDavid. Draisaitl in along the wall. Luostarinen battling. He's hit by Nurse. Nurse flips it around onto the stick of Kulak. Kulak around Luostarinen. Carrying along the wall is Podkolzin. Sending it back out for a shot by Nurse. That gets blocked and it's Doug Ekblad. Ekblad shaken up. Arvidsson plays the puck. Ekblad off to the Florida bench.
Almost too many there. Almost.
Great chance from the slot by Podkolzin. Panthers ice it off the draw. Double look at Ekblad on the Florida bench. Ekblad has played over 32 minutes tonight. Draisaitl and Rodriguez. Stint. Back behind the net. Puck comes around to Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe to center. Bouchard with it for the Oilers. Bouchard and McDavid 3 points apiece tonight. Oilers led 3-2 after 1. It was 4-3 Florida after 2 periods. Perry tied it late. The latest tie and goal in a Stanley Cup final game all time. Here's Draisaitl. Swings it across. McDavid offside. Here's Mikula for Florida. Rips the puck around. Wallman off his stick. Out in front. But Boquist was tied up. Now Arvidsson flips it up the boards. Chasing after it. Brown coming for the net. Arvidsson flies the brakes. Sends it in deep for Brown. Now to Henrique. Out to Klingberg. Klingberg across for Wallman. Back behind. Pass Brown. Picked up by Barkov. Too far for Reinhart. Then back into the Florida zone. Now Schmidt. 5.5 gone in the second overtime. Tied at 4. Puck off the stick of Lostarinen.
2 missed exits there by Florida. Be able to make a pass and get that puck all the way inside and try to generate a little bit of sustained offensive pressure.
Frederick sends the puck around. Lundell kept it away from Kane. Now Kane takes it away from Marchand. Marchand will skate it out. Lostarinen off the skate of Kulak and then sent into the right of Skinner.
Good back check there by Frederick.
Puck sent towards the net by Ekblad, who's back out after he was shaken up moments ago. Puck is underneath Ekblad. Kane able to work it free. And now it's Kulak with Gadjevich in on the forecheck.
Well, looks like from up top here, it's up and down and off for everybody on the ice. I mean, you're starting to see the length and the heaviness and the toughness of this game, too. You don't want to get caught out there for those extended shifts, so it's up and down and off.
Here's Forsling, then Verhaeghe. Verhaeghe moves the puck ahead, Panthers offside.
Seems like it's going about 25 seconds max and get off the ice.
Puck sent along by Wallman, kept alive by Bennett. Jones went to the bench for a new stick. Centering pass, Kapanen! Stopped by Bobrovsky!
Great read by Bobrovsky and a huge save at a critical time.
Kapanen had a great chance at overtime in game 1 as well. McDavid and Draisaitl out here with Perry. Panthers move the puck in deep. Bouchard flips it back around. Wallman up the boards and the skates of Draisaitl. Reinhart looking to work it free. Ekblad there as well. Ekblad keeps it alive. Set across. Past Barkov. Slapped out by Perry. Picked up by Verhaeghe. Now Bouchard. Panthers go for a change. Here's Perry, who tied the game. Now Draisaitl. Draisaitl back out for a shot by Ekholm. Missed the net. Ahead for Marchand, moving in on Skinner. Marchand it's in, he scores! Marchand! The Florida Panthers even the series at 1 game apiece. 8 minutes, 5 seconds into overtime, number 2.
Brad Marchand anticipates this puck. It takes a fortunate bounce. This is exactly the same as his shorthanded goal. He gets open. Lundell's the guy that gets the puck, and he goes forehand, backhand, and just somehow slides this puck under Stuart Skinner.
I'm not so sure he even got it with the backhand, Edzo. I wonder if it fooled Skinner. The back-checking Oiler. I don't know if it fooled Skinner, but it doesn't matter because Marchand is shorthanded goal, and then that one, you talked about the anticipation. Unbelievable. This was an absolute classic.